What is the resale value of a Tesla, and how does it compare to the competition? I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. This episode was generously sponsored by a longtime patron and subscriber and fan and all that, stickinabox.com. More on them at the end. So I went to Google, the Googles as it were, and decided to look up Tesla depreciation. And what I found was confusing and, in many cases, misleading. Tesla car price, depreciation, and value. Yes, you could lose 41%. Well, that just doesn't sound right. How recent is this? Very recent. The next result was Car Edge, which seems to think that after just a few years, you've lost 30% of your value. I'm telling you, man, that does not line up with what I have seen. More specifically, Model S. Oh, look at that. Terrible chart. Model 3. Wait a minute, this goes out 10 years. When was the Model 3 released? Yeah, 2017. Didn't really ramp until 2018. Tesla Model Y. Oh, look at how bad that is. After 10 years, you've lost 70% of your... Yeah, it's only been out 2 years, guys. It only started in March of 2020, really. Late February, early March, you know. Cars are famous for their depreciation. The worst thing you can do is drive it off the lot, which is why the best thing to do is just drive it in circles right there. You get all the joy of ownership without the depreciation. Across all major automakers, 40% is the average over 5 years. Now this list is nice and fresh, October of last year. This represents the supply crunch and all that. Jeep Wrangler only down 9%. Toyota Tacoma, Tundra, Ford Mustang down only 20%. That's pretty good. But what it doesn't really factor in is the Tesla Model 3 because it doesn't quite have, as of when this was released, 5 years of history. With the worst being the Nissan Leaf losing most of its value, BMW i3, and so on. Tesla Model 3 bucks the trend of electric vehicles depreciating rapidly. Coming off of a lease, now lease cars get a bit of abuse, that most cars lose 52% of their value, but Tesla only loses 10%. So thinking about the Model Y specifically, I went to ev-cpo.com. Looking up the Model Ys, there's very few that are even available, and they're priced from about 51 grand. There's one at 48,000 with 51,000 miles on it, all the way up to, well, this guy wants to get 70 grand for his. We'll see if that happens. So these numbers paint a somewhat different picture. So what is the Model Y's actual cost? Well, it varies and has varied. It's gotten more expensive as of late, but 50 to 60,000. This doesn't include premium wheels or a premium color or FSD, so you can add a few thousand to the average purchase price. So I went to Auto Trader with that in mind, 50, 60,000. And I looked throughout the whole country and I sorted by price. What do we find? 55, 55, 55 again, mid-50s. Mid to high 50s is what they're going for. Wait a second. That's what you paid for it. Now, you may have paid more. You may have paid less. They're selling for the mid-50s. So let's look at some of the competition. Honda CR-V. It's a pretty good car. Competes with the Model Y, I guess. 25 to 33,000 plus options. Now, a Tesla comes with almost all the options you'd want. It has the premium sound. It has the connectivity. It has all the good stuff, at least at first. And with OTA updates, it just gets better. So let's see what they're selling for. Same filters. Look everywhere. Well, that's crashed. That's not very good. What are we seeing? 25, 26,000. 25, 26,000. For a 2-year-old car that definitely costs more than that, may have cost 30, 35,000. Let's also look at the Hyundai Tucson, which comes in a variety of packages from 23 to 32-ish. Let's say 26 to 35 with options. What are those selling for? Skip the Rex, of course. 17,000, 20,000, 21. Again, It's a car that you definitely paid somewhere from $25,000 to $35,000 for. That's a lot of depreciation for 2 years. Toyota RAV4 configurations. How we looking here? 26 to, 35, 40,000. Again, same search. 33, 25, 26, 26. A lot in the 25 to 26,000 range with higher miles, and 30,000 with newer models and nicer trim. So what about the Model 3? How much did that car cost? Wow, in the beginning, there were people paying 80,000-ish. My goodness. Early adopters. The car has ranged in price from 40-ish to 50-ish. And this chart is definitely out of date because it doesn't reflect the big bumps in price at the end. So what does that mean? Well, the price increases. A couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. Pretty soon you're talking real money. Let's do a search. 36, 37, 38, 38. Yeah, these cars are still going for 38,000. Now that's almost certainly less than you paid for it, but they're holding value real well. So what are some competitors to the Model 3? Well, the BMW 3 Series, which goes for 35 to 50,000, depending. Oh, what do we got here? Yeah, 20,000, 20,000. A car you definitely paid no less than 35,000 for 4 years ago has lost almost half its value. That's gruesome. Another competitor is the Mercedes C-Class, starting at just over 41,000, going up to 44, and quite a bit of everything is not included, so the price is, substantially more. What do we got? 22, 23, 23, 23, 24, 25. That's lost a lot of value. But a lot of consumers are value buyers. They're not comparing the Model 3 to a C-Class or a BMW 3 Series. No, they're looking at something like a Toyota Camry. So a 2018 Toyota Camry clocks in 24 to 35,000 with no options. Say more like 27 to 40 plus loaded. What do those sell for? 15, 16, 17,000 all day. And yeah, some of these have quite high mileage, but so do Teslas, and not all of them do. What's another competitor? Honda Accord. Same kind of deal. MSRP somewhere between 26 and 30 plus thousand, going all the way up to 36, plus, of course, the options you must get. What are those selling for? 10,000, 12, 15, 16. A bunch of them in the 16 range, but a lot of them lower than that. Hondas famously hold their value quite well. That's what I've always been told. How did I miss? So there you go. What did you think was going to be the least depreciating car? Now, I apologize. Normally at this point in the show, I would jump over and do some goofy math and show you all the figures and, yeah, who am I kidding? Let's do the math. So, Honda CR-V. Now these costs, these represent the original purchase price, and I had to do a lot of research and a lot of digging to come up with some good averages, so that's where we're at. I can go into the methodology if you want to see it, but it's a mess. How much did you lose on your CR-V? $3,500. That's not bad. I mean, it is depreciation of 12%. Hyundai Tucson, $66,39. Youch. 24%. And these are over 2 years. RAV4, $57.70. You lost 19%. Model Y, you lost $125. Yeah. You lost 0.2%. Figuring 13,500 miles per year for 2 years, 13 cents a mile. That's pretty good. 25 cents, 21, and of course, 0 cents per mile. 0 cents per mile. BMW 3 Series, let's get gruesome. You lost $19,000 in 4 years. 45%, you spent 36 cents a mile owning it. Mercedes C-Class, 20 grand. 47%, 38 cents a mile. Toyota Camry, 11 grand. That surprised me, but here we are. 39%, 20 cents per mile. Accord, 15,595, 39%, very comparable, very comparable. And the Model 3, 95.87 is what you lost. 20% depreciation, 18 cents a mile. Huh. That's weird because I've seen so many stories where people are explaining that they didn't lose money, that they actually sold their Model 3. Oh, that's right. In 2018, the full $7,500 tax rebate was available to EV buyers. So you didn't pay that price, did you? And for that matter, when it expired at the end of 2018, the prices came down. So that price we were looking at, that probably wasn't the price you paid. You probably paid less than that. So let's jump back over and see what the numbers would actually be if you change this to include the rebate. You only lost $2,000. You only lost 5% of what you paid. Your cost of ownership per mile was only 4 cents. That's a big deal, especially when you consider how long the car is likely to drive. Here's Sean Mitchell. I hit 275,000 miles, 443,000 kilometers on my Model S today. Continues to be a workhorse. Tires are the most common expense. It has the original motor, and I'm 145,000 miles into the second battery with very stable degradation, and the battery was replaced under warranty. Do you know what a car is supposed to cost to own? It's not 4 cents. The true cost of ownership. This is a great article. I will link it in the description. Year 1 sees over 21% depreciation. And if you drive it all the way to death, it's still 47 cents a mile. 47 cents a mile. Well, ain't that something? So hang out for another second because I've got a funny joke to tell, a little skit to perform because, hey, do you like meat?
I do, yeah.
Well, what if somebody mailed you bags of it?
What? Who would do such a thing?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Me from 20 minutes ago, stickinabox.com. That's who.
But nobody sends me meat.
You be quiet while I run some B-roll about stickinabox.com, the cool subscription that sends you a variety of jerky-type treats each month for the chewing and eating pleasure of your mouth and tummy. You get a bunch of different stuff from classic favorites to things you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, but who's behind this thing?
Don't eat the silica packet, that's poison.
I wasn't gonna.
Yes, you did. I know because I was me a few minutes ago. No, listen, you gotta check it out. It's the Beef King. He's the one in charge. And who is he? He's a 14-year-old whose dad helped him get into this business 2 years ago. And his big dream is to buy a Cybertruck as his first vehicle. And what could be more noble and king-like and manly than buying a Cybertruck for your first car?
Is it bags of meat being delivered to my door?
It is bags of meat mailed to your door, that's correct. And you guys can save with the exclusive coupon code TSLA.
Can they use coupon code doesn't work?
Yeah, I mean, you can, but that doesn't work, so, I mean, that would just give you full price. But you can do that if you want.
Thanks, stickinabox.com.
And thank you, me from 20 minutes ago. Yeah, so what did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me all your thoughts, your wisdom, your juicy brilliance in them comments below. And stay tuned, stay jerky, and I can't wait to hear from you meat-eating robots on the future side of I hope robots don't actually start eating meat. That's terrifying. Oh, wow. Should have thought that one through before I didn't definitely write it in the script. Yeah, you guys can't tell which parts are improvised. That's fine. There are a bunch of reasons Tesla's resale value is higher than anyone else, and if you're interested, let me know and I will make a whole second video just about that, because it's a topic that is just that big.